Rise ye ashen tarnished chosen undead, and welcome Souls fans, new and old, to your Platinum Guide for Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. So we've got a journey ahead of us, and hopefully it's going to be an enjoyable and exciting one for you. Dark Souls 2 really steps up the game in terms of the size of the game compared to Dark Souls 1. We're looking somewhere in the region of double to triple the intricacy. But we're going to make that as easy as possible for you to follow along with. We're not going to do any random drops, which it's something that they've got less of in Dark Souls 2. Most of the random drops, it's either a random piece of unwanted equipment or a healing item, a life gem. So it's not a bad thing. Whereas in Dark Souls 1, whether you do or don't get the Black Knight weapon at the beginning makes a massive difference. We don't have to worry about that in Dark Souls 2. So small victories there. I'm going to guide you through your journey. So we're going to get 38 trophies, 37 plus the platinum, 38 in total. We are going to get 20 gestures, 31 sorceries, 28 miracles, 24 pyromancies, 23 hexes, 9 covenants, and we're going to complete all of the other NPC quest lines to make sure that you get your platinum trophy. Importantly, we are going to be playing offline, and I cannot stress enough for you to do the same. You do not want to get those online invasions. They can just, ruin your mood, but also get in the way of your progress. And more importantly than that, if you can believe it or not, when you play offline, rare item drops are increased. Your farming rate is improved offline. A small recompense for the fact that we do have to do some item farming for our journey. So offline, cannot stress enough, play offline. To follow the guide, I can't stress enough, make sure only spend souls when I do. If you do end up dying and getting your souls back and you get more than I do, fantastic. But I would highly advise follow the build, follow the leveling, and definitely do not spend your boss souls. We will either be using them for specific trade-in for sorceries, pyromancies, hexes, and miracles, or to make our New Game Plus and Plus Plus runs much quicker. There is a shortcut, but that shortcut requires some millions of souls. So that's what we're going to use our boss soul items to help us with. We're going to do a full first run, including the DLC. Scholar of the First Sin automatically includes all of the DLC, which means its trophies also include them as well. So we're going to complete all of the game elements in the first run. We're then going to do a mini second run where we have to get through to the end of the game. We have to complete a couple of extra little bits to make sure that we've got the necessary items and boss souls that we're going to need for our trade-ins, and then a very quick one boss repeated farm, and then get to the castle to finish the platinum run on the New Game Plus Plus. With that said, let's get to it. If you are newer to the game, then I would highly recommend get used to the mechanics before you follow the guide. So play the tutorial area, quit, start a new character, try it again. Just get some familiarity with the game. Don't be afraid to follow the guide, but if you do find that you are struggling, Dark Souls 2 very much is a game that's based around explore, learn, retry, start again. So don't be afraid to do that. I do think it is one of the more enjoyable early game experiences. I mean, Dark Souls 1 will always have a place in my heart. But yeah, I do enjoy the first kind of hour or so of the game, just kind of that routine that you can build up in your experience and memory that does set you up for pretty much the rest of the game. So we're playing offline, new game. If it's your first time ever loading the game, you'll get taken straight to the settings. All I would say is brightness, up it by a couple of notches. It's just going to help with some of the slightly darker areas of the game with your visibility. The rest, up to you, but I'm happy to keep it as is. Key thing to note, if you're used to the default Dark Souls 1 controls, jump control is clicking in the left 3 stick. Something that I actually changed my Dark Souls 1 settings to. It means you don't have to worry about holding circle, letting go and tapping circle. You can just hold circle to run, and then click in the left stick and then you'll jump. So a natural quality of life improvement that they made for Dark Souls 2, which is in your default settings.
Perhaps you've seen it.
Similar to my Dark Souls 1 guide, I am going to skip the cutscenes and skip through the dialogue of the NPCs. If you have not seen them before, if you have not heard them before, I am a massive advocate for the lore of these games and the time and effort that's gone into everything. So I do recommend, because it is wonderful, watch the cutscene if you've not seen it before. When you're speaking to the NPCs, read it in, soak it in. There's some great characters in all of the games, this one definitely included. So we haven't created a character yet. We're at this entry-level hollow husk. Come out here to the right, ignore these rat dog type things. Even with a proper weapon, you do very little damage to them, and they absolutely shred your health. Do not pick that fight. Pick up the rusted coin. Rusted coin improves your item drop chances. If we do struggle during our item farming for covenant items, we can use a couple of those to help us. Come along here. Cross the bridge. That item there is a small, smooth and silky stone. I'm not going to pick that up. The use for those is you trade it in with the crows. But they give you a random item in return. So I don't want to do that because I don't want to have an item that you don't. If I have an extra titanite or large titanite or even a slab that you don't, that means I have an upgrade option that you shouldn't have. So the Firekeepers, we will recall our name. Obviously name your character whatever you wish. I'm going to go with DBN for Drew by Nature. And then character customization. So what we're going to do for this class, we're going to go for a ranged build to make the game as easy as possible. So we're going to go with the Sorcerer class. It takes a little bit for you to get a catalyst naturally. When you get to your first kind of areas, you can buy the spells, but it's going to make the early game so much easier to already have ranged spells. That's easily going to beat the trade-off of having a weaker melee weapon. We're also one level away from having our second spell slot unlocked, which is huge, and that 14 intelligence for your sorceries is very nice. So Sorcerer is going to be our starting class. It doesn't matter too much your starting class in Souls games. Definitely for Dark Souls 3, impacting your min-max leveling can come up, but key thing here is make the early game as easy as possible. Gift, there's been numerous debates about what to pick. Some people pick the life ring, but that's a ring you're going to pick up naturally, and we don't even equip it anyway. Human effigy, a good shout. This reverses your hollowing. If you do fear that you may die a few times, could be a good pick. Some people say the bonfire aesthetic, unless you're speed running, you do not need to pick this up. We are going to get plenty of these. We use these as part of our farming mechanics for the game, which we'll talk about later. But ultimately, all we need to know is healing wares. This is going to give us some extra recovery items, just to, again, make the game as easy as possible, more ways to recover health. Healing wares. And that's it. That's all the customization you have to do. You are obviously welcome to adjust your body, your face, however you wish. Gender does not matter in this game. Unlike in Demon's Souls, for example, and I believe Dark Souls 3, where certain armor sets are only available to certain body types, in this, does not matter. So, with your class set as Sorcerer, Gift as Healing Wares, you are ready to finalize your creation. You are welcome to create your character and customize them however much you wish, but I'm going to say this fellow is my true self.
All people come here.
And there you go. Trophy number 1, Self-Recollection. 37 more trophies to go, one of which is the platinum, so technically 36. Come upstairs, open the chest, grab a human effigy. As I mentioned, that's the item you use to reverse your hollowing if you die. Open the door. Press right on the D-pad to switch to your dagger, and pop this cart. If you are new to the game, by examining these tablets give you tutorial instructions on controls. This teaches you about the bonfire. At the bonfire, light it. And a quick thing I will note, we picked up a torch from here along with a soul packet. When you're at a bonfire, if you get close, you'll notice that it says triangle to toggle, or whatever it does on your console of choice. Rest bonfire, press triangle, light torch. That is how you light your torch. Good to know. We're going to put it away for now. You put it away just by pressing left on the D-pad. So we're going to rest at this bonfire. We are going to switch on the D-pad right to our catalyst, and we're going to go back the way we came. We are going to fight our first troll? Giant orc? Troll? I'm going to go with troll. We're going to fight our first giant troll for 1,000 souls. Yes, he drops a ring. Yes, there's resin here. However, we're not going to use either of those realistically. What we're here for is an extra 1,000 souls for early level ups. So there he is. Bop him once with a spell, and just get ready to roll his very long-windy attacks. You want to get behind him, and we're going to try and loop that butt slam as best we can. I'm getting close to the butt. I'm walking away from the butt. Now he's turned himself. He's going to do a frontal attack. Just make sure you use your circle to roll and stay out of the way. He does big damage. It is a bit of timing, but what we're going to do is we're just going to work until we can get behind him, and we're going to force him to butt attack again. Butt slam. Spell. Butt slam. Spell. Butt slam. Spell. Butt slam. Spell, and one more spell. There we go, nice 1,000 souls. He drops the stone ring, and here is some gold pine resin. Stone ring, put it on for now, just because you might as well. It reduces enemy poise, which means it's easier for you to stagger enemies. We're definitely not going to use this as one of our 4 rings in the final build. However, you might as well use it for now because you've got nothing better, and it doesn't break our weight. So once that's done, come back here, rest at the bonfire again to reset your spell uses. And now we're going to go through this tutorial area. Nice and quick. It's only we're only going to get, I think, even just shy of 200 souls. Yeah, as you can see, we're only getting 30 souls a piece for these guys. As I mentioned, these slabs, I'll show you one of them. There we go. That teaches you how to dash. The ones before that teach you how to do a basic attack. 1, 2, 3 hits is enough, because these guys are very weak, they have no armor. Come out here, turn left. This teaches you about backstabs. One thing that daggers are good for is critical hit damage. That's an archer up there, so what I like to make sure is just as soon as you can lock on, and just bop him with range before he does that to you. Let this guy drop so you don't waste the spell. If he drops while you're casting, your spell could miss him. Even locked on, it's not perfect. And then make sure you come forward here and deal with the archer first. Always deal with range first. There we go. So that took 5 hits because he had armor. Range attacks, so just standard arrows from bows, they actually do a fair chunk of damage. Also, they have the chance to stun you, and if you get stunned, that means that the people who are rushing you then have a chance to get a free hit on you. Once you're here, come here and kick down the ladder, just in case. Snuggly and Sparkly, the crows. I think it's Snuggly and Sparkly. If not, I'm getting my souls mixed up with 3. But they want Smooth and Silky. So that's smooth and silky stone I was talking about that we didn't pick up. What you would do here is you would leave it here using the leave option in the items. They will then trade it for a random item, which is why I'm not doing it, because I do not want to at any point have something that you will not. Drop, grab the soul item, get your bearings. We are going to drop down here, and we're going to come through here mainly because we're going to get some amber herbs which help restore spell uses, so they're always useful to have. Zap. And chink. Zap. And chink. The old zap chink. So as you can see here, there is a gap. We're going to jump, so just make sure you're familiar with your jump. By default, that's holding circle or B on Xbox and then clicking in the left stick while sprinting. So make sure you're in a straight line, run and jump. Straight line is so you don't roll off the edge, because I have done that and don't want you to do that. And jump. Up the ladder. While climbing a ladder, you can hold the sprint button, the circle or B, but you'll notice that climbing faster takes up your stamina. Once at the top, this is going to teach you about plunging attacks, so when falling, do the attack. However, we only have a little dagger, it's not going to do much, so just use the spell, get rid of him, drop down. A couple of spells here. Through that door are some cracked red eye orbs. We're playing offline, so they do absolutely nothing, so no need for those. Out we come. These little sconces, these are lightable sconces. Some people like to light all of them along the way. You don't need to, there is no trophy or anything associated with them. We will light some to make darker areas lighter, but that's about it. Here you'll notice a statue that we can examine. That will say there is a statue blocking your way. You need to use an item called a Fragrant Branch of Yore, which then reverses petrification on statued enemies or people. There's a few statues that will block routes that we need to take, but don't worry, we will be collecting our routing. We'll make sure we always have the item we need when we need it. Out we come to the entrance to Medulla. Medulla is the central hub of Dark Souls 2. Think Firelink Shrine from Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3, or the Nexus from Demon Souls. So this is where we're going to be able to level up. One improvement they did make to Dark Souls 2 is right off the bat we are able at any bonfire to teleport to any other bonfire. So great quality of life improvement. We don't have to get halfway into the game before that gets enabled for us. Right, from here, between these two rocks is a little drop. We're going to drop down here, and we're going to drop down again. We are going to pick up some items that we aren't going to use. However, Morningstar and the Sacred Chime. However, there is an NPC later that we can sell unwanted items to, Galvan. So it's worth sometimes picking up sellables. Pick up binoculars. And at this point, I guess trophy progress I will highlight. So by starting as a sorcerer, we have 1 of 31 sorceries. We have Soul Arrow already. Also worth noting is we start the game with 8 default gestures, and we need 20 in total to get all the gestures, so we are 12 shy, 8 out of 20. I say this because we are going to collect another one in the very near future. So, light the bonfire. Might as well rest. Right, now let's do a bit of a trek around Medulla. So, firstly, come here, grab a soul packet and some more life gems. Speak to Lenigrast, or Lenigrast? Yeah, the blacksmith, grumpy blacksmith. He will tell you that his door is locked. We will find a merchant who has the key. Take from that what you will. And no, I like to do this in the right order. Well, I say right order, I like to do this in my order. So now we're going to come up here, up the stairs, and it would not be a Souls game if in your central hub there was not a depressed soldier. And here is the one here, no exceptions.
You have that.
So, exhaust this dialogue. Again, if you've not paid attention, if you've not played it before, I highly recommend listen to it. There's some great lore in here. But for now, I'm just going to exhaust through in the interest of video brevity.
I am Solden. You probably. Well, there's. Do you even
Keep going, and eventually he is going to suggest, hey, are you equally as depressed as I am? And then invite you to join the Covenant of the Meek.
There are 4, and wherever each has. If that. Do you. You'll face it. If you. When you face
the Blue
danger,
Sentinels.
The blue's protection is yours.
Okay. At this point, once the join option has come up, you will get your trophy. So that is trophy number 2, Covenant of the Meek. We're going to say no, there's no benefit to us joining the Way of the Blue. We don't need all the rings, so there's no need for that.
If you ever require, I will stop.
And then we're going to talk to him again,
Do you feel it suits me?
because we are going to learn a gesture. There is the welcome gesture. That is gesture number 9.
May you find
Cool,
peace.
that's all we need from that guy. We're not going to talk to the Emerald Herald yet, because we're going to pick up an Estus Shard. Unlike Dark Souls 1, which is very generous and gives you 10 Estus flasks, 10 Estus sips from your flask, you start this with 1, which is why you have life gems as a healing item to go alongside.
Oh, undead
Oh.
old one without much, just about ready to fall
That's
apart,
impressive.
I'd
I've
say.
managed to talk to an NPC that's on the other side of the wall.
Exactly. Well, oh yes. So, ooh, nothing.
Okay,
suited.
ignore that.
Well,
I will
that's
show
good.
you what just happened. But what we were here to do was pick up this item, this life gem. And we're going to come over to this boulder, and we're going to punch it. Punch. So we've got nothing in our left hand, so I press L1, and I punched it. Pick up an Estus Flask Shard. We don't need to come in here, but I'm just going to show you what happened. So yeah, the NPC is right against the wall, so I managed to speak to her through the wall. Because. But yeah,
Oh,
talking cat.
no, you do have a time.
Sweet Shulk here.
Nothing
We are going
suited.
to purchase some items from her later, but not right now because they're expensive. Come on here. You're welcome to talk to this merchant. Basically, he came to Majula to make riches. However, no one is in Majula buying, so he's a bit depressed from that. If you spend money with him, he gets wealthier until the point where eventually he becomes so wealthy that he will try and attack you because he thinks himself immortal. Pick up the Titanite shard from up here. And double checking my notes. Yeah. We are going to keep going across. Grab our 5 homeward bones. And right, this is the Covenant of Champions idol. So we need the trophy, and similar to before, we are not going to join. We are going to get to the point where we have the option to join. That will give us the trophy. We will join this covenant later. However, we will do it specifically when we need the benefit. The benefit is, so in Dark Souls 2, enemies will stop respawning after you've killed them 18 times. Which is annoying if you're trying to farm them for dropped items. The Covenant of Champions stops the respawn limit. However, it also treats the game as if it was 1 level harder. So in New Game, which we're playing now, it becomes the difficulty of New Game Plus. So that's why we're not joining it until we need to, and then we will abandon it straight afterwards. So, Neil, enter Covenant. We're going to say yes, yes, no. Arduous path? Yes. Are you prepared? Yes. Join the company. You have now got your 3rd trophy, the Covenant of Fittest trophy. Say no. back, down we go. And we're going to turn and we're going to come here. Down the steps, keep going. Down we go. And we're looking left, about halfway down the steps. Here it is. Oh no, not halfway. Pretty much at the bottom of the steps. Open this chest. Grab the Crimson Palmer Shield. Equip it. You don't actually have the necessary 6 strength to wield this yet. However, we are going to change that momentarily. So it's just good to have it ready. And we're going to go back up. Do, do, do. And we are now ready to speak to the Emerald Herald. Who again, I'm going to skip her dialogue, but if you're new to the game, highly recommend listen to the lore. There's some fantastic, well, I say fantastic, there's some rather depressing stories, but they are so intricately planned and done and well done that it's a shame to miss them. So,
Are you
talk we shall.
bearer of... I will take...
She is going to give us our Estus Flask.
Go on and keep
We may now level up by the power of the Emerald Herald.
bearer of the curse. For
Seek, seek. Less.
Seek
Oh no,
those whose
there we
need
go. Seek.
their soul once you... So that
No?
hope...
No, okay, no, this is the first dialogue still. Apologies. We will get to Seek Less, that will make sense. But for now, she's
Is
going to
that a
say,
shard
is that a
you
shard
found?
you found?
Here. To see, however...
So we're going to upgrade Estus Flask. There we go. We have doubled the number of Estus sips. So Estus is your health regeneration item, along with the life gems. The key thing is the Estus Flask refreshes at bonfires. So 2 heals in between every rest at bonfire. Now quit out, open your menu, inventory, and spend your 3 soul items. 1 soul of lost undead, 2 nameless soldiers. And now, Seek Lest is what happens when you skip the dialogue of the Emerald Herald.
Bearer of the curse.
Bear the curse. Seek Lest. If you hear anyone say Seek Lest, that's what they're referring to. Level up, and we're going to get 3 levels into strength to get us up to a strength of 6. The convenient number needed to use our shield. Right, now at this point, I'm on 3 trophies, you may be on 4. If you have been unfortunate enough to have died already, you will have got your 4th trophy. If you have, I'm about to catch up with you. If you haven't, then you're about to catch up with anyone that has. So what we're going to do here, while we're on the edge of the mountain, is we are... Actually, no, let's make it even easier. We're going to do it from the bonfire, wait a moment, and we are just going to fall to our death. Trophy number 4, this is Dark Souls. Yep, if it wasn't obvious enough that you were going to die on your journey, they gave you a trophy for it, just to make you feel a bit better. Okay. Touch your bloodstains, get your souls back. Notice that you have lost your complexion. The other thing to note, when you die, if you look at our health bar, that X that's in the right corner of the right side of the health bar, you can barely see it, but you'll now notice there's a black line next to the triangle. What's happened is when you die, that X moves to the left. Your maximum health slightly reduces every time you die until you reverse your hollowing. That will then give you your maximum health back again. It's worth noting if you do die lots, you may need to reverse your hollowing to get your full health bar back to make the areas a bit easier. That's why I'm mentioning it. We are going to naturally reverse our hollowing a few times throughout the playthrough, so if you've only died once or twice, don't waste your human effigy. We're going to do it naturally at some point in the near future anyway. But yeah, if you've died a few times and there is a notable gap in your max health, then it is worth doing. Right, with that all done, we are ready to firstly equip our Estus Flask, put our life gems on as a backup. We are ready to journey onward. So, down we go. Round here, open this chest for a rusted coin. Interesting point of note, in New Game Plus onwards, this chest becomes a mimic. So something very cheeky that they introduced into this game is that chests can become mimics in your New Game Plus adventures. Pull the lever, open the most annoying gate ever. The reason it's the most annoying gate ever is I am currently holding forward. I'm trying to sprint. Look, I can't go through even though I could fit until it has gone high enough for the game to recognise. Mainly annoying if you're like speed running or if you've done the beginning multiple times to devise a guide. What's a couple of seconds for some reason really irks me. Because I should be able to duck under it, roll under it, or when I sprint, I'm clearly short of the top. But anyway, I digress. Open the chest. Don't be fooled. These waters kill you. That is a safe platform. You could jump it, however, there's an easy way to get there. We're not going to risk it, so just walk back up the plank. Down we go. You're going to see another one of those giant orcs. Don't worry about that. We're not going to deal with that one. We are, however, going to pop this Axeman. There we go. We'll pick up any drops. They're only going to drop either useless armor pieces or life gems. So life gems is the reason you want to pick them up. However, useless armor pieces you can always sell to Galvan. So it's always worth looting the corpses of the dregs. So immediately come up left. If you're up here, the orc will not pay any attention to you. This guy, I just use the dagger. If in doubt, always have the catalyst out first. But when it's a one-on-one, these guys are harmless. Well, I say harmless, they actually can represent a good amount of damage to you. But as you can see, you've got plenty of time to start shanking away. Cross here. Light the bonfire, do not rest. Well, if you've had to use your Estus and such, then fair enough. We're only lighting this just so that if we do die, we're going to spawn here, not all the way back at Medulla, because that would suck. Cross back over. Right. Here, there's one archer you can see across the bridge there. There is another guy waiting to ambush from the bridge. So all we're going to do is trigger him, get out of the reach of the archer, and 1, 2. Right. Catalyst out, because there's a few enemies. However, we just want to make sure we kill this archer first. There we go. He hit me. Axeman. Go. And lastly, this guy is going to get up. We're going to get behind him and see if we can get backstab. If you don't get the backstab, don't worry. Just go for normal attacks. There's a life gem, as I mentioned. Drop down. Grab a soul. Come along here and up the ladder. Just keep an eye on your stamina as you climb. So as you saw there, once I got close to this item, that guy got up, so don't pick up the item, deal with him, then pick it up. These enemies that are lying down, they will all be getting up, apart from the ones that have items on their body. They are already dead. So we're going to deal with them in a minute. However, first, we are going to come down here, come to the bottom of the ladder. That will trigger this guy to come down. We can just deal with you with a knife. There we go. Get your catalyst out, climb up the ladder. Carefully come here, come to the right, grab this item, and lock on, and 2 soul arrows should be enough to deal with him. If you don't deal with him, when you are down here, he is going to throw firebombs at you, and that's going to get very annoying very quick. Come down and round. If he drops a firebomb, good for you. If not, don't worry. We've got a little gap, we're going to jump here. Yeet. Grab a short sword and a soul item. Jump back across. Right, when you're climbing down a ladder, if you hold down and then press circle, or be on Xbox, you have a slide mechanism. If you press circle without holding down, you will just let go of the ladder. And numerous Souls players in this game, because in Dark Souls 1 it was just press B and you descended, in this that lets go. Numerous Soul players have died to that change of mechanic. Right. What we are going to do here is we're going to try and deal with these guys one at a time. So walk up to the body, they get up. Once the arms drop, that means that they are then outside of their invincibility frames, so they're invincible while they're standing. Once they drop, they are ready to be backstabbed. Arms drop, backstab. Hopefully that makes sense. Up, arms drop, backstab. Grab a broken straight sword. We can always sell that. Human effigy. Quick, and there we go. So yeah, this section, you're almost always going to have to fight at least 2 of them. So there I got dropped some hollow infantry boots. However, I won't equip anything that isn't guaranteed or near enough guaranteed. But you do need to pick up at least 1 piece of armor that you don't want, because you do need to give clothing to an NPC. This there, but that's fine. Just like, grab another broken sword. And enter the mist. Right. There we go. Before we go there, we're going to poke our head through here and see this man. And we're going to use a couple of spells to deal with him. Get ready to roll or backstep. That's why. And number 2. Come in here, there's another enemy that's going to get up. Wait till they drop. Wood bolts. Crossbows are terrible, but Meh. So there's 2 more enemies here. 1 behind those crates and 1 here. Kill him. And then kill him. As you can see, all I'm doing is just getting my distance so that I'm safe and then using a ranged attack. And that way I've managed to not need to use any of my healing items, which means you've also got plenty available if you do get hit. Archer up there. Come here, you should be able to lock on. 1, roll out the way for the arrow. 2, there we go. Right, a little bit more chaotic as we get to the top here. However, you should have enough soul arrows, hopefully, to deal with it. Actually, can you snipe anything here? Oh, yes you can, that makes it easier. However, there we go. I'm going to drink an Estus because we're nearly at a bonfire, so we'll get that back. I'm a bit more hesitant to use life gems because those are use them and lose them, whereas the Estus you get back. Up here. So normally, you've got Firebomb guy there, so normally you come up here, you run here, deal with him, deal with him. There is an archer here who is going to do what archers do, really. There we go. And over here for a buckler. And up this ladder. 1 more enemy. Here, boy. Oh, wow, he's really waiting for that ambush. As you can see, has been designed so that you go, oh, an item, and then there he is. Oh, firebomb. Open the doors, and you'll see a bonfire waiting for you. Ta-da! So, first things first, light the bonfire and rest. That will recover our soul arrows back to 30 uses and our Estus back to 2. As you can see, we cannot level up at bonfires. We have to do that with the Emerald Herald. Merchant. Exhaust her dialogue. So, keep talking to Merchant Hag Melentia until she essentially says that she's going to move. There we go. You have to do this. This is required for one of your trophies. One of the trophies is you have to fully populate Medulla. So all the NPCs that can be sent there, you need to do what you need to do to get them sent there. Normally it's just talking to them. So yeah, high time I picked up and moved means once you beat the boss here, she will then move to Medulla. So you're 1 step closer to that trophy. What we're going to do now, we're going to buy consumables. You are going to buy Lenigrast key, that is the blacksmith key, and buy 1 firebomb. So I have 1 because it got dropped, but that's not guaranteed, so I'm going to buy 1 firebomb. You need 1. So I have 2, you don't need 2, but make sure you have 1. That is 1,200 souls that we've spent. That is good enough. Up the stairs, get your dagger out. This door here, as you can see, the door is a bit battered in. It's locked. However, the door is in bad condition. So, a few swings and it will pop. Get ready to quickly switch to your catalyst. We're going to try and kill a crystal lizard. Don't worry if you don't, we're going to come back up here and do it, but there we go. Crystal lizard. Zap. 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 There we go. Grab 2 Titanites from the cart, hand axe and a radiant life gem. Table, hollow soldier helm, guaranteed, and chest. small leather shield, and repair powder. Open the door. Walk over to this chest, and there is a hollow waiting in ambush. Open the chest. Grab some radiant life gems. The white soapstone is to drop messages for other players or your summon sign. Either way, not using it because we're offline. Don't worry if you miss this drop, but if you can, grab a divine blessing, so that's another healing item that you can have equipped. Step down and rest at the bonfire again. How are we doing on time? Yes, we can do the lower courtyard. So, out we come. Deal with Holloway McHollow. We're going to drop down here. Attack him, quickly turn. Get rid of this guy. Right, ideally we want to make the jump to that ledge there. So, run, jump. There we go. Grab a human effigy. It's not the end of the world if you fall, it's just this guy is slightly harder to deal with. Whereas, if we come down this way, he's going to be easy to deal with. Let him come here just so that he's away from those wooden posts, because otherwise, if you do attack him here, you could hit the post and then it will break the attack, which you don't want. Come down, and there we go. We're looking for this tree here. And you're going to get a few guys try and attack you. There he is. I was gonna say, I know there's at least one more. Dagger time. Jump. Jump. Grab your items off your defeated enemies. Use range so that we only lure one of these guys at a time. And then dagger. Oh, rude. Come on, notice me. Right. As you can see up there, there is a giant turtle. But don't worry, because there is one right here. Looks like... Oh, cheeky backstab. No. If you get behind him, he will just slam his back on you and do a lot of damage. So instead, we're going to get 2 or 3 spells off. Let him attack, cast the spell. Number 2. There we go. And let him attack. Cast the spell. Let him oh no, he's hate charge attack because it's never guaranteed when he's actually going to swing. In here for a hollow soldier shield, foot soldier shield. Foot soldier shield. There we go. Tongue twister. Pop this guy. Okay, we're now going to pick up our first main build weapon. Top up your health. And you're going to come here and you're going to grab this item and you're going to roll away. 1, 2, 3. Wait for the second set of 3. 1, 2, 3. And then quickly come and open the door. and then immediately mash the roll button to roll in. You are immune when you are opening the door, so it's purely the gap between the door being open and you rolling in. That's the only chance of you getting hit. So if you mash the roll button, you're safe. Pick up the fire longsword. 1, 2, 3, and then run. Out we go. So we got a soul item and the fire longsword from in there. Grab 3 life gems, and then we're just going to keep this simple. So all we're going to do is use a homeward bone. Rest and travel to Medulla. So travel Medulla. Pardonnez-moi. Pop your soul items, 4 souls of the lost undead, soul of a nameless soldier, soul of a proud knight. Oh no, we didn't want to rest, we wanted to talk to the Emerald Herald.
Bearer.
Seek Lust. Level up. We're going to get our strength +4 to 10. Dexterity +1 to 8. We are then going to equip, we're going to swap the dagger for the hand axe. We are then going to open the locked door using the key. Grab ourselves a short bow from the chest. Speak with Lenny.
But first,
And rest. Cancel out of the bonfire. And Lenny is now up and running.
you, the name, and you are a man, not no, not a quick.
And what we're going to do is we are going to reinforce the fire longsword to +1. There we are, fire longsword +1.
I'll be around.
Okay, that is all of our prep for the next section ready. So the last thing to do is to travel back to the Forest of the Fallen Giants, Cardinal Tower. And here we are, ready for our next video. So there we go, 4 trophies already. You know, nicely started. We've got to our first main bonfire of the game. We're going to come back to Cardinal Tower quite a few times. So yeah, in the next video, we're going to travel around the Cardinal Tower area, open up another shortcut, which will actually remove this wall here, and get ourselves ready for our first fight against the Pursuer. So, hopefully, you've enjoyed this intro, you're able to play along successfully, and hopefully I have your attention on your journey for your Dark Souls 2 Platinum Trophy. So, best of luck, I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye for now.